I don't even know where to start. So I just got out of an early access screening of Wicked Part 1. Let's talk about it. Directed by John M. Chu, stars Ariana Grande, Cynthia Erivo, Jonathan Bailey, Michelle Yeoh, Peter Dinklage, Jeff Goldblum. So this is an adaptation of both the Broadway musical and the book. For those who are wondering, why is this so long and why do we have a part 1 and a part 2? Part 2 comes out next year. It's because we're adapting two things. And because we are adapting from stage to screen, we're able to do things on screen that we're not able to do on stage. Such as, number one, expanding the narrative, and we have more wiggle room with time. And also because we're on screen, we're able to be a little more three-dimensional with the set. Whereas, it is what it is on stage. I've been sitting here for a minute trying to find the words to accurately describe what I just experienced. I don't have the words. I don't know. Normally I give y'all a well thought out analysis, as fresh as I can give you review. I can't do that here because I am still floored. My only issues with this movie, I felt like the intro was a little lackluster, but then once we met Glinda and we saw how distant she was from the events in that intro, made a little more sense. The other issue that I had was just how tonally inconsistent it was. Now, are you going to notice that? Probably not. Other than those two things, that was perfection. I've seen over 170 movies this year. A little over 150 were in theaters. And out of all of those movies, this is easily top 5. The only other movie this year that made me feel this way, I want to say Dune Part 2. I think that movie just left me a little speechless. And I was just shook. Just total package film. Cinema. This was cinema. Am I even saying anything useful? Whatever your expectations are, multiply it by, I'd say, about 7.5. That's where this movie is. It exceeds expectations. I don't know what I was expecting, but if I had expectations, this would have just blown all of them out the water. The production design. If this doesn't win something for production design, I'm going to complain. They sang live in this, and so the sound editing. I mean, there needs to be recognition somewhere for the sound editing. Costume design, hairstyle, and makeup. I think John M. Chu might have a fighting chance for a Best Director nod somewhere. This was, without a doubt, one of the best movies I've seen all year. 10 out of 10 recommend. I don't know what else to say. Now, speaking of awards for which this could win, now I really feel like this movie's going to be the wild card. This is the one people really aren't expecting to really make a splash at awards. I wouldn't count it out. I think this one is going to give people a run for their money. But I think the award that Universal Pictures, if they had any good sense, they would fight for, hear me out, Best Supporting Actress for Ariana Grande. Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, what a pair. They are incredible together. They sound great, beautiful voices by themselves and together, the way they harmonize. Because again, remember, they sang live. And Cynthia Erivo, she shines. She's incredible. She's amazing. Very beautiful, emotional performance. But I feel like part 2 is going to be where she really shows out. That's where we're going to see a lot of that bravado from her. But this here, part 1, that was Ariana Grande's movie. She did the damn thing, let me tell you. Ariana Grande's performance in this reminded me of Rue McClanahan's performance of Blanche. The Golden Girls, for those of you who are like, who's that? So Rue McClanahan, who played Blanche. I'm not saying they're similar in the way these characters are, but there's something to be said about the way Miss McClanahan handcrafted and handmade Blanche, from the accent, the way she moved in clothes, mannerisms, her walk. This was a very personal performance from Ariana Grande. That wasn't Ariana Grande. That was Ariana Grande Butera, the little girl who's been dying to play this role her entire life. At some point in her life, she said, I am Glinda, and meant that. I'm obsessed. I loved her in this. She was so funny, so charming, so adorable. I mean, she just disappeared into the role. She was gone. That wasn't Ariana. Who was that? If you're not planning to see this weekend, I don't know why you're not. This needs to be seen in a full theater. This is one of those movies that the experience is that much better with a full theater. The best part of the entire thing, and this wasn't even in the movie, but it was the moment when everyone in the theater realized she's about to sing Popular. The rustling of seats, the gas, oh my gosh, here it is. And I'm like, okay, so we were all waiting for the same thing. We were all waiting for the same thing. Because I've been telling people for weeks, I just want to hear her sing Popular. That's it. Like, I can go home after that. I just want to hear her sing Popular. And she sang Popular. I'm trying to think, like, what else could I possibly say? It's beautifully shot. It's so colorful. So the visual effects are really well done. I think the CGI, I don't think it's like a hit or a miss, but it's definitely better than what we've seen lately. I will also say this, it's a little heavy-handed in its messaging, this theme that it's okay to be different. It's just very heavy-handed in its approach. Are you going to notice that? Probably not. I've only seen Wicked, the musical, once, and that was a couple of years ago when I was in Charlotte. I was actually 2021 when I evacuated for Hurricane Ida. My mom took me to see Wicked, so I don't remember much, but what I did love in this here movie were these subtle little nods to the original Wizard of Oz. So the last musical that swore up and down it was going to win an Oscar, The Color Purple from last December, just comparing the two here, I felt like there were just gaps in the narrative in The Color Purple, and that, you know, the director was relying heavily on the musical numbers to string things along. I think John M. Chu, he balances the narrative and the musical numbers very well. They connect and they weave very, very well. This was just 10 out. It was so good. It was so good. Yeah, if you see it this weekend, try to see it on the biggest screen possible. Best sound, full theater. This is a full theater experience kind of movie. I might watch this again before Thanksgiving.